Well, you have a major cool down, big changes in our forecast. So we are looking at some, well, windier conditions and cooler conditions. Take a look right here. Did I hear breaking wind? All right, we're going to take you outside to Santa Monica where the clouds are already starting to roll in. We've got wind advisories out there. We've got high wind warnings in effect as well. And looks like, well, starting to get kind of windy out there. Let's get a look at current conditions through the Grapevine. Of course, pretty windy for you. 23-mile-an-hour sustained winds, 17 for Palmdale. Laguna Beach, or South Laguna Beach, 11 miles an hour for you. Riverside at 9. So winds starting to pick up and temperatures starting to cool down. We're currently in the 60s, and believe it or not, by tomorrow, we're only really getting up into the 60s. You'll see Palmdale at 66, over to San Dimas, you're at 63, Redondo at 64, San Pedro, you're at 66 degrees. So again, starting to get a little cooler, still mild, but as we head to tomorrow, much cooler temperatures on tap. 73 earlier today for downtown, average is 75, record numbers 95, so we did not get anywhere close to record numbers. And over the next 24 hours, well, we're looking at 50s and 60s, and by the afternoon, upper 60s. So let me explain the next 24 hours for you again briefly. So not only are we looking at cooler temperatures, but we're also looking at rain in the forecast, and not really rain, but light rain or drizzle. And it looks like it's coming in the morning hours west of our local mountains. So we're going to break that all down for you coming up on Futurecast in just a little bit. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Excellent. And do you know that you can cook just about anything now and put it on a stick?
You can.
Just fry it. Just fry it and throw it on a stick.
That's true.
Twinkie on a stick or where?
Love Twinkie.
Butter now, I think they do. It's like,
I haven't had a Twinkie.
like a stick of butter.
They do?
At some fairs. I don't know if they do it. I don't think they do it at this festival.
I love
you
butter.
would, wouldn't
I would.
Yeah.
You would.
You guys know my eating habits. Yes, I would.
Anything.
Yeah,
anyway,
anything goes.
We're all waiting to hear about the weather. It's a little chilly out
Cool,
there,
but
which is kind of
is it going to brighten up a little though?
It might. That's the question. I'm going to have the answer coming up in a minute. Yes, but of course, once it gets cooler, of course, it has to warm up at some point. So we're going to let you know when that point is going to be, first and foremost. So we want to take you outside and show you kind of a change in the scenery out there. Take a look. This is actually from our Mount Wilson camera, and we're looking at low cloud cover really pretty much everywhere from this shot, starting to move into the coast, into the basin. Low pressure is starting to move into Southern California, and as a result, we're going to see more cloud cover, we're going to see cooler conditions, and we could even see a chance of drizzle in the forecast. So here's a recap on your weather headlines. Low pressure moves in, we cool down, we're looking at a chance of drizzle and possibly a chance of maybe light rain. So nothing heavy, again, just expecting maybe some wet conditions out there, especially in the morning to the afternoon hours. So we're going to break that down for you coming up in Futurecast in a minute. Also want to mention it's breezy to windy. We're still dealing with wind advisories, and we're still dealing with wind warnings out there as well. So as we get a look at Futurecast, take a look. It's set for 7 o'clock, and that's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're seeing a lot of green showing up, and green just indicates the chance for maybe some light rain, some drizzle. Looks like pretty much everybody in the basin standing a chance along the coast and spanning into some of our inland valleys as well. This should continue through the 9 o'clock hour. So again, expect maybe some wet conditions out there. And then by 1 o'clock, we're starting to dry out a little bit. Still looking at a chance of a shower or two, just a bit of drizzle. And then conditions are going to start to improve in the later afternoon into the evening hours. Looks drier out there, might squeeze out a bit of sunshine, but certainly a much cooler day, a much cloudier day, and potential for, well, drizzle and maybe a light shower. So just remember that as we head into tomorrow. Don't want it to take you by surprise. And you'll see right here for your forecast, we're looking at low pressure starting to dig into Southern California, that trough of low pressure. And with that, again, we're looking at the cooler, cloudier conditions and that onshore flow. That low starts to head east as we head toward the later part of your weekend. And as a result, well, we're expecting warmer conditions as we head towards your holiday weekend. So let's take a look at the valleys in the Inland Empire. A chance for drizzle tomorrow all around, and then as we head to Saturday, partly cloudy, still mild, much warmer by Sunday with more sunshine in store for your Monday. So for your Memorial Day barbecue, things are looking much better outside. And by Tuesday, we're flirting with 80 degrees. We're going to show you what it looks like in the basin and, of course, the beaches if you plan to be by the coast this Memorial Day. That's all coming up in just a little bit. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
All right.
And we're expecting some big changes in the forecast. We'll have that forecast coming right up. We shall. Yeah, Sharon and Rick, pretty amazing stuff happening right now. If you look behind me in Santa Monica, you'll see right there we're dealing with plenty of cloud cover, and that's going to be the case as we head into the next couple of days. A few people out and about on the pier right there. Temperatures in the 60s, still windy, breezy. Take a look. Wind advisories out there and high wind warnings currently in store. Also a wind watch right there over Kern County just to our north. Through the grapevine, we're looking at wind speeds in the teens, sustained in the teens. Same thing with the high desert. Other than that, still breezy. Once we get to Laguna Beach, though, we are looking at, well, breezier conditions. 60s out there this evening, 61 in Granada Hills, 64 in Redondo Beach. Over to Riverside, we're currently at 63, and earlier today downtown, you made it to 73. So you were a few degrees below average. Tomorrow, well, a few more degrees below average. Not only are we looking at cooler and cloudier conditions over the next 24 hours, but we could potentially see some drizzle, even some light rain. First thing in the morning especially. That chance might continue through the afternoon, but does look like that cloud cover will really thicken up to the point where we could potentially see some, again, light rain to drizzle. Temperatures tomorrow, a far departure from where we've been. We were talking 90s earlier this week. Remember that? We were complaining how hot it was, and tomorrow we're probably going to be complaining about, well, how cool it's going to be, especially for this time of year. Santa Monica 66, Palmdale 65, Woodland Hills 68 degrees. So very cool tomorrow, and keeping it on the cooler side for Saturday, even into your inland spots, but pumping temperatures right back up again as we head into your Memorial Day weekend. By Sunday, by Monday, and by Tuesday, we're flirting with the 80s. So plenty of sunshine for your barbecue on Monday if you plan on being in the basin somewhere in Orange County. Well, mid 70s for you with more sunshine. And finally checking in with the coast, there's that drizzle for you tomorrow. Then low cloud cover by Saturday, a little warmer by Sunday, partly cloudy by your Memorial Day, flirting with 70. And by Tuesday, we're expecting mild temperatures under partly cloudy skies. So remember, much cooler tomorrow. Really not a big temperature difference between the coast and your inland spots, upper 60s only inland. And again, we're bracing for maybe some drizzle, so don't be surprised if it, well, starts to rain a little bit on you as we head into tomorrow. But don't worry, that's not going to last through Memorial Day, so your barbecue is going to be a-okay. Megan, Sharon, back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, have you tried?
Oh, not good at all. That's the worst because it usually takes, I mean, graduation is the best, but yeah, it takes a few hours to get through it. So it is good graduation weather, and it's just a little more mild out there for now. In fact, we could even call it cool in some spots as we head into tomorrow. At LAX right now, we're not seeing a lot of the fog, but the cloud cover is building along the coast, starting to head into the basin and starting to get into your inland spots as well. So as that happens, we're not only looking at a cooler forecast, but we're also looking at a chance of drizzle and light rain perhaps tomorrow. Breezy to windy conditions, a few advisories and warnings out there still. And this is all happening because of a low pressure system that's starting to, well, make its way into Southern California. So let's take you through Futurecast, because as this low pressure swings in, we're going to start to see, well, cooler and cloudier conditions and maybe even a chance of drizzle and light showers by 7 a.m. Looking quite wet. Of course, nothing heavy in the way of rain. It's just light. You're just seeing light green. So it doesn't mean that we're going to see any heavy storms or downpours again. Just a steady drizzle and maybe a light shower. We're seeing it along the coast into the basin around 7 a.m. So your morning commute could be a little wet. By 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, quarter to 10, still looks like pretty much everybody's in for a chance of a shower or two or just a little bit of drizzle. And by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, same thing goes. Low pressure is going to start to move eastward. Things are going to start to dry out. Eventually, they're going to warm up. By 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, looks much drier out there, but it's still going to be a cool one. Again, we're only talking 60s pretty much across the board. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, you're going to see that chance of drizzle tomorrow, upper 60s, partly cloudy by your Saturday. By your Sunday, plenty of sunshine and warming up by your Monday and staying warm by your Tuesday. So again, Memorial Day looking pretty good as we head to the basin in Orange County, going from the 60s to the 70s. And the coast, we're going from, well, the mid 60s to the upper 60s, flirting with 70 by your Monday, and still expecting mild temperatures in the forecast as we head into your Tuesday. Back to you. All right. Oh, beautiful. And we're not going to look at much sun here in the Southland. Some big changes coming our way. We'll have those changes and, of course, your Memorial Day forecast coming up.
Commercial exploration, so the future is here.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. And our weekend is here, too.
Our weekend, well, almost. For some of us.
Yes.
For some of us,
Right.
no. For some of us, yes. It's a long weekend, so it just depends how long it is for you.
Right.
Yeah. But it's going to be, well, a mixed bag.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got a little bit of everything. So if you like the cooler weather, well, you're in luck. If you like the warmer weather, well, you're in luck too. So we kind of got the best of both worlds going on this weekend. But first, we're dealing with a pretty significant cool down. We're taking you to the coast, and this is where we're already seeing plenty of cloud cover starting to span into the basin, even some of our inland spots. You'll see a few people out tonight on the Santa Monica Pier. Not a bad night outside tonight, pretty mild. We're into the 60s for the most part at the moment, and by tomorrow, well, we're pretty much not going to get out of the 60s at all, believe it or not. So we're at 62 right here at the Broadcast Center at Studio City. You're going to see several wind advisories out there this evening. We're also looking at a high wind warning. Pretty much everybody looking at windy conditions into the overnight hours. And by everybody, we're talking parts of the high desert. It looks like that wind advisory went back into effect right there. High wind warning for the Apple and Lucerne valleys, and also along the coast. We're looking at pretty breezy, even windy conditions. Through the Grapevine right now, pretty windy in the high desert as well. Waiting for the wind to pick up into the overnight and morning hours, and waiting for temperatures to drop off tomorrow. 60 right now in Granada Hills, Redondo Beach at 63, San Dimas 61, and Palmdale you're getting up to 60, well, into the 60s. Tomorrow you're at 64 degrees right now. 73 earlier today in downtown, average is 75, so we were a few degrees below average, staying well below average, and also expecting a chance of maybe a shower. There's a chance of drizzle in the forecast tomorrow just west of our local mountains. So 60s across the board. Palmdale 65, Woodland Hills 68. We're barely warming up. We're barely looking at sunshine, especially through the morning hours, and by the afternoon maybe squeezing out a little bit of it. But until then, we're looking at cool, cloudy, and maybe even drizzly conditions. So Futurecast is going to show up plenty of, well, a little bit of light rain out there. First thing in the morning, you're going to see that, and then that's going to continue through about 9:45. We're still looking at potentially wet conditions. Nothing really heavy, no downpours, but we are looking at drizzle and maybe some light showers. By 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, things are drier and maybe a little clearer, potentially looking at a little more sunshine by the afternoon, but not a lot of it. We're still calling it mostly to partly cloudy over the next couple of days. Warmer by Sunday and even warmer by your Memorial Day for the coast. Chance of drizzle and cloudy tomorrow. Low clouds, but dry by Saturday, warming up by Sunday, and keeping temperatures mild as we head into your Monday and your Tuesday. Same thing goes for the valleys and the inland empire. Sylvia, Rick, back to you. And getting a look outside right now, clouds, fog, and maybe a chance of drizzle and light rain. We'll have the full forecast coming up. How about the weather? Pretty good for now. If you like it cooler and cloudier, well, it's going to be pretty good for you tomorrow. We're even looking at a chance of drizzle, believe it or not, in the forecast. The big question is, well, will it warm up for your Memorial Day for all your barbecue plans? Well, we'll let you know. Take a look. Red, white, and blue pylons lighting up appropriately. Oh, that changed on us. Oh, nope, we're back at LAX, and we are dealing with some cloud cover out there. Still quite breezy to windy. Several wind advisories in store through the early morning hours. Also, high wind warning in effect for the Apple and Lucerne valleys at the moment. So you're going to see wind speeds well up to 13 miles an hour in Gorman, 12 for Palmdale. Other than that, pretty calm with the exception of, well, parts of Orange County. Laguna right there at 10 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, 50s, but mostly 60s right now. 61 in Riverside, 60 San Dimas. Palmdale 61, Redondo Beach at 63. Over to Malibu 61 and Granada Hills. You're currently at 59. So earlier today, we made it to 73 in downtown. Average is 75. Record numbers 95. So didn't get anywhere close to that when we're talking 50s, 60s, and 60s by tomorrow afternoon. So really well below average temperatures. And on top of that, we're eyeing a chance of maybe drizzle, certainly maybe even a light shower in the forecast. So don't be surprised if it gets a little wet out there first thing in the morning into the afternoon. And by the afternoon, we're only squeezing out 60-degree readings. 66 in Santa Monica, Anaheim 66, Palmdale 65, and Woodland Hills. You're only getting up to about 68 degrees tomorrow. A quick look at Futurecast coming up in just a minute. You're going to see low pressure. We are cooling down. Of course, we're also looking at chance of drizzle and light rain, breezy to windy conditions. And by first thing tomorrow morning on Futurecast, you're going to see right here, well, maybe some light showers continuing through the late morning hours, possibly even through the afternoon hours. So again, that chance of drizzle, maybe light shower persisting tomorrow, partly cloudy, still cool by your Saturday, plenty of sunshine by your Sunday, and by your Memorial Day, still warmer forecast. Upper 70s for your inland spots, mid 70s for the basin in Orange County, and finally for the coast, you're going to see upper 60s under partly cloudy skies by your Monday. Rick and Sharon, back to you.